A better day, just you and me. We are the world. We are Biafra. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we'll make it. We'll save in our lives. It sure will make a better day. Just you and me. Don't be so this matters about me as I take my time and sing reality. In a struggle, they hustle, they muscle. Why some people that they cannot ever move? All we need is a great nation, which is Biafra in our world today. All we need is to be free, freedom to enjoy our nationality. Waiting I see, now so me I used to talk them. Share as I talk them, now so you go understand them. Chukwu is my backbone forever. If you like it, make it there, just smoke by the journal. We are Biafrans. We are the one make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we make it. We're saving our life. This should will make a better day, just you and me. We are the world. We are Biafrans. We are the ones to make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we make it. We're saving our life. This should will make a better day, just you and me. We are the world. We are Biafrans. We are the world, make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we make it. We're saving our life. Issue will make a better day, just you and me. We are the world. We are Biafrans. We are the ones to make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we'll make it. We're saving our lives. It sure will make a better day, just you and me. See, when up in Nigeria, we Biafra. Them they carry our money at the area. Let no one know if we don't trouble. All I want to let them know it's what's up. You got them it on our side. Everybody we want try go campsite. And that was an Azukilishi. Them leave us for water. Go chop on a machine. I make it put our hands together so that we can fight with them together. We are Biafrans. We are the world, make a better day.
I'm gonna tell you my story now, and that happened at Port Harcourt, you know. I got a city, a lovely place. Don't return I'm to Johannesburg. I haven't got plenty money on me, but I was stranded in Port Harcourt, you know. If I happen to end in a pop house apartment, because around me, they say they like me, they love me, they love me, they love my beautiful voice. Please sing our song, only song can do. Please sing our song, only song can do. I took too many honeys and that's not what I'm looking for. I took too many lips and that's not what I'm looking for. All I want is not but plenty of money for my family. I'm not here for a pleasure trip. I'm only here for a business trip. my story around that happened at Port Harcourt, a garden city. I love the place. Don't retire to Jonet boy. If I happen to enter in a province, about 20 girls around me, say they like me, they love me, they love me, they love my beautiful voice. Please sing all the song, only song can do, my love. Please sing all the song, only song can do. Too many honeys and that's not what I'm looking for. I get too many lips and that's not what I'm looking for. All I want is not for plenty of money for my family. I'm not there for a pleasure trip. I'm only here for a business trip. They sing as a song, only song can do, my love. They sing as a song, only song can do. I get too many honeys and that's not what I'm looking for. I get too many lips and that's not what I'm looking for. All I want is not for plenty of money for my family. I'm not here for a pleasure trip. I'm only here for a business trip.
The following are some of the songs composed by late Sir F.C. Nwoba during the Nigerian Biafran War from 1967 to 1970.
You shall always be a flag of liberty. We shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal, and through the crucible must earthly pass. When we appoint flowers of we shall remember those who died in the past. There shall not always be a glorious song. The victory is on all night and God protect us from the leading before. Guide all our movements, lest we go astray. Give us the strength to hear the Lord and His word, to live and walk, save us from God's mistake. Bless those who rule to serve with restlessness, to make His mind a life of righteousness.
Live on air, on radio, on web, the Biafra Radio. Download the Biafra Radio today on Google Play Store and join the broadcast. The Biafra Radio, we preach the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Come here. Askacha kacha. Okara kongo blocho ambulo kumwanza. Ikrigo. Umi boma na dande bukwa no batai. Okay, yes then the way so bali mune. Ikrigo. Mara no ginu wanya mano lugo. Akwala ile mputa we putobo. Mara no gikwas mano lugo. Okwa no gbe no pa potu no gbe. Wane mo buso gbe kana na bilako. Atupala no male mapoka pamara. Atupala no feko feka sivano. Fegalivano. Fenyisi no fia. Moonlight, because you want to danda silio, danda silio, dilulu ni kunemo, orano ko kwakamo, dilulu ni kunamo, orano ko kwakamo, ebena buba pulukolo,
Good evening, great Biafrans and wonderful people. Permit me to welcome you once again this evening. It is Biafra Radio, and of course, we are live, we are direct. It is late night with Barrister Onuoha here on Biafra Radio. Biafra Radio is where we worship Elohim, where we worship Chukwu Okike Abiyama. Therefore, I want to invite you wherever you are this evening, wherever you are hearing the sound of my voice. Today being, of course, the 14th day of August 2023. It is a Monday evening, and it is late night with Barrister Onuoha. And we are here, of course, to do the needful. We are here to preach the gospel according to the restoration of the kingdom of Chukwu Okike Abiyama on this planet they call Earth. Therefore, wherever you are hearing the sound of my voice, as long as you are on this planet they call Earth, it is Biafra Radio, and this is Late Night with Mazi Onuoha. Permit me once again to welcome you this evening. Once again, it is the 14th day of August 2023, the year of our Lord. It is late night with Barrister Onuoha here on Biafra Radio. We are live, we are direct, and of course, Elohim, he is presiding over the affairs of his people. Permit me to welcome you once again, because this is the time we gather together as a people. This is the time we gather together as Biafrans to talk about the restoration effort of the kingdom of Chukwu Okike Abiyama on this planet they call Earth. And of course, this evening, my humble self will be taking you through, bringing you news, information, analysis, and things that are happening around you, because you need to know, and we are here to ensure that you know that. It is Biafra Radio, and this is Late Night with Barrister Onuoha. All right, there you have it once again. Permit me to welcome you as we salute Elohim Chukwu Okike Abiyama. We thank him for a day like this. We thank him for the lives of Biafrans all around the world, because as we are scattered around the world like sheep without shepherd, we know it is not going to be long before Elohim will begin to gather us together, even to that land that flows with milk and honey. And I'm talking about the land of Biafra. All right, welcome back once again. It is Biafra Radio. The time standing here at 10:24 p.m. in the evening here in Johannesburg. We are live. Trust me when I tell you, we are direct. And of course, it doesn't matter wherever you are, as long as your time is saying 24 minutes past the top of the hour. It means you are hearing me live. It means you are hearing me direct. And of course, permit me to welcome you once again. My name is Barrister Onuoha. I hail from Omowa in Olo. Olo is in Biafra land. And of course, I am the servant of Ikechukwu Kabiama. And I'm here to do the needful. And no amount of threats, no amount of gossip, no amount of insult will stop us in doing what we are called to do. I am called for this restoration effort. I tell you, most of us are called. Most of us call themselves. There is a huge difference between those who are called for this gospel and those who call themselves and those who came to help themselves. We are not the same. Some of us heard the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and we came and we heard and we concur, and that is why we are here today. It gives me great joy when people talk about me. It gives me great joy when people criticize me. It gives me great joy when people say every insultive words against me, because it means that I matter. So when people talk about you, you need to be happy, because it is only those who matter that people will talk about. There are those nobody cares about them. Nobody talks about you. Then something is fundamentally wrong somewhere. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been criticized. People have spit on him. People have said so many evil things against him. People have lied against him. People have insulted him. So who am I if you insult me and I feel so bad? Because if my leader, my supreme leader for that matter, can take all the insult, who am I? Therefore, when you insult me, when you castigate me, I need to do one thing. I need to sit back and ask myself, is this a constructive criticism, or is it out of malice and jealousy? If it is constructive, then of course I will see if I can amend. But if it is out of malice, out of jealousy, out of envy, the four cardinal disease of an evil man, then I will continue to move on. Then I will continue to embolden myself, knowing that I am on the right direction and that I am doing the right thing. Permit me once again to welcome you. It is indeed so that we are here this night. And we call it late night because it is late in the night when Biafrans are home, when Biafrans are seated, when Biafrans are gathered around their home, around the fire, when families are gathered after having their supper. There is no better way to round up the night than with late night with Mazi Onuoha. Why is that so? Because I am going to bring to you updates, things that happened when you were away, when you were in the business area hustling, when you were in your shops hustling. We are busy gathering news and information, analysis for you. And this is our job. And this is what we have chosen to do to ensure that Biafra is restored. And this evening, I will be bringing you news updates as usual. Our work is very simple: to update you, to make you understand what time it is, to make you understand the things that are happening around you. That is very simple. But before we do that, permit me to welcome you once again. The time here, of course, is 10:28 p.m. in the evening here in Johannesburg. They call it the City of Gold. From the City of Gold, Johannesburg, I bring you greetings to the land of our ancestors, to the land of Eri, to the land of plenty, to the land of milk and honey, to the land that is endowed with all manner of natural resources, to the land of our great forefathers, to the land of Ndibo. I'm talking about the land of Biafra. I say good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, whatever is your time zone. It is late night with Barrister Onuoha, and of course, this is Biafra Radio. All right, without wasting time, and of course, before we proceed, you know how we do. We have a culture. We need to call upon the name of Chukwu Kabiama. We cannot proceed if Elohim did not ask us to, and therefore
make a better day, so let's start giving. The choice we make, we're saving all our issue. We make a better day, just you and me. We are the world. We are Biafrans. We are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our lives. It sure will make a better day, just you and me. Don't be so that matters about me as I take my time and sing reality. Ikechukwu, they hustle, they muscle. Why some people they cannot ever move? All we need is a great nation, which is Biafra in our world today. All we need is to be free, freedom to enjoy our nationality. Waiting I see, now so me I used to talk them. Shy as I talk them, now so you go understand them. Chukwu Abiyama is my backbone forever. If you like it, make it there, just smoke by the job. We are Biafrans. We are the one make a brighter day, so let's start giving. The choice we make, we're saving our lives.
Oseblo adunwa eni. Obi wo ye kele kwela. Yeze no nelu. Ogadi ana abunala. Ayi wa wo bo kindo menjo. Aya ko kwele. Ye ire na yaka. Sabta na ye. Waka se.
All right, welcome back, and we do apologize for the interruption We had a little bit of technical issue, and I want you to know one thing. We are Biafrans. We don't give up. We don't capitulate. It doesn't matter what the enemy throws at us. We sustain, we absorb, and we move on. And of course, we are back to continue and finish up what we have continued this evening. I say to myself, I am not going to back down. I am not going to close this program just like that in the middle. I did not start this today, and Elohim has been with me all those years. I'm talking about 2016. That's a long time. We've started this gospel according to the restoration of Biafra, and we have seen all these things. We have seen so many tempests, but at the end of the day, we always win because we are Biafrans, for goodness sake. All right, welcome back, and I do apologize once again for the technical issues. As you know, it is always like that. Technical issues when it comes to broadcast. But of course, we are Biafrans. We are good at what we do. We always find a way. And this night, once again, by the grace of Elohim, we have found a way and we are back. All right. Thank you for sticking up, and thank you for not leaving, and thank you for waiting, because you know that definitely we are coming back and we are back. Without wasting time, of course, we have an hour to spare. And of course, I cannot leave without giving you updates this evening. I cannot leave without letting you know what is happening around you as far as the media is concerned. On this evening, that is exactly what we're going to do. But remember, we were still in the middle of prayers before we are taking off air. So let's start from where we stop. Let us pray.
Allow me to worship Ikechukwu Biama on behalf of the entire family listening right across the length and breadth of this very planet. Umu Chineke, all of you who are ordained, all of you who are destined to perform wonders, I welcome all of you. Now, I will present you to Ikechukwu Biama in heaven. Therefore, our Father who resideth in heavens above, looking down upon the pain and the suffering of your children, as was foretold by those who has gone before us, that a day will come when the world will gang up, when all the children of darkness will congregate to prevail against your children. That time is now. We are in pain. We are in so much suffering that man cannot begin to comprehend it. We ask for your mercy. We ask for you to come and present and provide a way where there is none. We ask you to if we came the IPOB n'ebe niile dị iche iche ruo ebe niile ụwa sọtụrụ ka ịdị mma gị na ebere gị biko gbaso ha ụbọchị ile nke ndụ ha. Ọsịsụ eluigwe, we call upon you this evening. The vultures are congregating, the saboteurs are rising up. We are beginning to identify them, and we are dealing with them. We ask you to give us the strength. We ask you for courage. We ask you for every ounce of determination and resoluteness. Make us as hard as steel, as only you can do. Baptize us in your word, in your knowledge, in your truthfulness, and in your strength. Make it impossible for our enemies to come close to us. Destroy them before they come very close. We will be tempted, of course. Our defenses will be tried without a shadow of a doubt. Sometimes there may be breaches, but in the end we prevail because that is your word and that is your promise. This evening we hold on resolutely to that very command of yours. Your own spoken word. The word that you gave to your children when you said to them that they should not worship any idol, they should not bow before any graven image. We have made mistakes in our lives. We have bowed before European idols. We have done everything but worship you in truth and honesty. But now, having realized the errors of our ways, we present ourselves before you, that you may do with us as you please. So it was prayed thousands of years ago. That same prayer will re-echo because we are nothing without you. We are nothing without you. We can have the best defenses in the whole world. We can procure the finest anti-jamming equipment available. But it is you that will defend your inheritance. You will defend Biafra. You know that we are honest and truthful people. You know that we preach this gospel in the knowledge that your children must be free in the land of the living, that they may go back and worship you in Zion as they have done thousands of years ago. This is our prayer now and always, because we are your children. You can't abandon us to the forces of evil and darkness. That is not your will, and it can never be. That is why today, tomorrow, and always, as you have called us to undertake this very monumental and epic task, as you have determined that your word must be preached in the land, that very land you gave to our ancestors thousands of years ago, so shall it be done in our lifetime. Allow us to be worthy to serve thee. Chukwu Abiama, allow us to be considered worthy to serve you. You know we speak the truth. Our enemies are liars. They are cheats and they are killers. They are bloodthirsty bastards, all of them. All of them bar none. They have brought their lies to bear upon all their dealings. Their tongue is very spiteful against those of them who are righteous before your sight. Please don't allow shame to befall your children. Don't allow shame to befall your name, because we answer your name, we bear your name. That is why today we make this very prayer in the sure knowledge that Biafra will be restored as your own kingdom upon the face of the earth. That you will be worshipped every blessed day of our lives, as our children will do, and so will their children. Until time everlasting, we have prayed in your name. Ise, Ise, Ise.
Right, welcome back once again. It is still Biafra Radio, and of course, it is late night with Barrister Onuoha here on Biafra Radio. The time standing here at 11:14 p.m. in the evening here in Johannesburg, and of course, it should be an hour different in Biafra land. It should be around 40 minutes past 10 p.m. in Biafra land, and of course, wherever you are and you are hearing the sound of my voice, it should be 40 minutes past the top of the hour. And of course, we are live, we are direct. Elohim, he is supervising what we are doing this evening. My name's Barrister Onuoha, and once again, I hail from Umowa in Olo province of Biafra land. It is late night. All right, let's go straight to the news, of course, headline, and see what is making the news this evening, being the 14th day of August 2023. The year of our Lord. All right, let me see what I have for you this evening. We are going to Niger. Let's talk about Niger, of course, and see what is happening. As most of you know, that there is a coup that happened in Niger, and of course, Nigeria being the zoo, and Tinubu has been spewing fire that they are going to kill, they are going to destroy the Niger people if they don't give up power, or rather restore back, the former president of Niger. But of course, the military junta has said we will not do so. And this is a very complicated one for Nigeria. And this is why Tinubu is treading on a thin ice, because half of Nigerian army is made up of Niger. The same people that voted for Tinubu, they are from Niger. Niger is more like another extension of the zoo called Nigeria. And of course, only a fool will go and invade Niger, because the same insecurity that they are seeing or witnessing in that place called the zoo is what they should be talking about, rather than talking about how to invade Niger. So let's go quickly and see what is happening. Niger junta vows to prosecute Bazoum for high treason. Of course, the new military government of Niger has vowed that they are going to prosecute the former president of Niger, Bazoum, for high treason. Niger coup leaders have vowed to prosecute ousted President Mohamed Bazoum for alleged treason and security risk in the West African country. This was made known in a statement by the junta spokesperson, Colonel Major Madu Abdurrahim, read on national television last Sunday. All right, so this is what is happening as far as Niger is concerned. So let's move on and see what else we have. IPOB distribute flyers announcing cancellation of Sit at Home. Of course, as you may have known, Sit at Home is dead. Sit at Home is buried. There is no such thing as Monday Sit at Home. So anybody who is still going around talking about Sit at Home on Mondays, that person is hallucinating, because the highest command of the struggle, the supreme commander of the struggle, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, have given the order, and of course his order must be obeyed to the latter. His word is a law. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say, whatever he say goes, and he have given that ultimatum. And of course, Sit at Home, or rather, if I may put it this way, Monday Sit at Home is now a thing of the past. So IPOB distribute flyers announcing cancellation of Sit at Home. The indigenous people of Biafra has begun the distribution of flyers and posters across the southeast to notify residents of the cancellation of Sit at Home exercise in the region. The pro-Biafran group said the exercise is at conveying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's pronouncement cancelling Monday sit at home and to inform the people that sit at home is not only dead but will also never again be invoked, deployed as a tool of civil disobedience in the group quest for self-determination. In a statement on Saturday, the spokesperson for the group said any person or persons talking about a non-existent sit at home in Biafra land is an enemy of the people and shall be dealt with accordingly. All right, this is what I have to add. You see, sit at home is not a bad tool. Sit at home is a tool, or rather you can call it a civil disobedience, if used properly. As many of you know that we have used sit at home in the past and it was successful. There is nothing wrong about it. But because criminals hijacked sit at home, criminals took over sit at home and of course channel it to their own selfish reason and gain using the hallowed name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. And that was what brought us where we are today. And of course, if our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out tomorrow and decide to invoke sit at home, of course, he knows how to do it and he knows how to channel it like he has done in the past. And of course, it will work. Sit at home in the hands of real people, genuine people, people who have decent mind and of course, good faith. Works perfectly well, works like magic. But when sit at home is in the hands of criminals like it has been today, then it will be disastrous and catastrophic. And that is why we say that sit at home is dead and buried for now until Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says otherwise. All right, we continue. Defense headquarters deny receiving requests for coup against President Tinubu. As you can see, they are gathering, and of course, anything is possible, anything it can happen. There is a rumor, and of course, there is a gossip going around that there is a request that a coup should be staged against President Tinubu. And of course, Defense Headquarters has come out to deny, saying that they did not receive any request to overthrow President Tinubu. But trust me, anything is possible as far as the zoo is concerned. So, the news headline says Defense Headquarters deny receiving requests for coup against President Tinubu. The Defense Headquarters has denied reports in certain quarters suggesting the Nigerian military received a request to stage a coup against the democratic government in the country. I don't believe the zoo for 1 minute. As far as I'm concerned, with the zoo called Nigeria, anything is possible. So we are just going to be watching as this unfold. But as far as we are concerned, we are only concerned about the restoration of Biafra. We are only concerned about the release of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because these are the things that concerns us as Biafrans. We are not involved in their politics. We are not involved in the zoo, because we are Biafrans and we know the cause that we are pursuing. And that cause, of course, is Biafra. All right. Let's see what else we have. And of course, we will be rounding up this news headline. We have agreed Niger coup leaders give the update after meeting Council of Ulamas. The coup leaders in Niger Republic have agreed to open dialogue with the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, over the current political situation in the country. This is based on the outcome of the negotiation between the coup leaders led by General Abdurrahman Tohini and a delegation of Nigerian Islamic scholars. You see, they are ready to talk to their brothers, but they're not ready to talk to Tinubu, because they know that Tinubu is not one of them. So you need to understand the dynamic that exists in the zoo called Nigeria. Tinubu was hell-bent in attacking Niger, but he forgot that the same Niger he is trying to attack are the same people as the Fulanis you have in Nigeria. But now look at it. When the Islamic scholars went to negotiate with those coup plotters, they were willing to listen to them. They were willing to listen. They were willing to sit down and have a talk with them around the table, because this is an Islamic thing, because this is all about ethnicity. And that has always been the case of the zoo called Nigeria. Whatever the Fulani says goes. And of course, I know that when Tinubu was making noise about attacking Niger, I know it's not going to happen, because there's no way that the Fulanis of the Nigeria extraction will allow Tinubu to attack Niger. But if it was my people in the southeast, they will send tankers, they will send any types of armored cars to go and crush and kill Biafran people, because you and them are not the same. You are not of the same religion. You are not of the same ethnicity. That is the zoo. And this is why we are fighting so hard, of course, to ensure that Biafra is freed from this shackle called the zoo Nigeria. All right, so this is all we have for you as far as the news headline is concerned. And I'm happy that we were able to come back, of course, to finish what we started this evening. And I thank Elohim, I thank Chukwu Kabiama, who have given us the power, the strength, the wisdom to do what we are doing. And that is exactly what we are doing this evening. It is late night with Barrister Onuoha here on Biafra Radio. And of course, we are going to take a quick break. When we return from our break, we will begin to summarize. So please don't go away. We'll be back after this. All right, it's been indeed a great one. Irrespective of all the challenges that we face this evening, we are going to start winding up. We are going to start bringing the program to an end. And of course, I want to thank you so much for joining us this evening. And we are still moving on. We are still continuing. We will be back again, of course, to continue this work that Elohim have bestowed on us. And of course, we will guide this Biafra restoration effort jealously. We are not stopping. We are not capitulating. No man born of a woman can stop the restoration of Biafra. It does not matter what you say or do. The most important thing is that Biafra must be restored in our own time. You can go ahead and do it your own way. You can go ahead and say whatever you like to say. But like I said, it will not deter us. It will not make us to capitulate. And we don't give a damn. We don't even respond to vain talk or all the utterance of the people because we are focused. We know that the battle is still raging. And of course, the goal is ahead. And we will continue to pray as you go to sleep this night. Please don't forget to pray for our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Very, very important. We must continue to pray for him that Elohim will perfect what he has started, that Elohim will ensure that our leader is free, that our leader is released. You see this gospel according to the restoration of Biafra. You see this restoration efforts. There are those whom Elohim have brought into the struggle to ensure that this struggle is protected jealously. And that is exactly what we are doing. We will not allow the enemy to ruin what we have spent time, what we have spent blood, what we have spent sweat, because many have died. Many have given their life for this gospel. Many have given their life. They have paid the ultimate price. And of course, our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is still continued incarcerated because of this gospel. And we will not allow all this gain that we have made go into naught. We will not allow it to go wasted or in vain. So whatever you do, ensure that you protect this gospel, that you protect this Biafra restoration effort, because we know that our leader is going to come out. And when he do, of course, everybody will receive their own reward according to what they have done in the absence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You are welcome to continue. Do what you think you are doing that is good. Do what you are doing that you think that is bad. But at the end of the day, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when he comes out, he will tell us who got it right and who got it wrong. But listen, the mathematics is very simple. There is what you call status quo. What is status quo? The way things are done all along. It is called status quo. IPOB, we are not moving in darkness. We know that there is a status quo. We know that there is a way that was laid down for us to follow. There is code of conduct that IPOB is originated on. We are founded in it. The code of conduct is our Bible. The code of conduct is our own constitution as far as IPOB is concerned. So don't tell me that you don't know the right thing to do. If you are in doubt, go and consult the code of conduct. If you are in doubt, go back and read the code of conduct. Everything is stipulated in the code of conduct from A to Z. When it comes to finance, it is there in the code of conduct. Where you are expected to pay in your money, it is there in the code of conduct. Which account you are expected to pay into, it is there in the code of conduct. Don't tell me that you are confused. Don't tell me that somebody is telling you otherwise. No. Don't blame anybody for your own mistakes. Because how can somebody confuse you? How can somebody deceive you when you know the right way to follow? If the code of conduct say that we have only one national account, why should there be two? And yet you are followed with the fake ones. When you know that Martin Nnamdi Kanu authorized one account, people say, but how do we know that Onyendu said what? You don't need to know what Onyendu said anything. All you need to know is the fact that there is a code of conduct, which Onyendu has been hammering on, even when he was still here before his incarceration. So why should you wait to hear from him before you do the right thing? You don't need to hear from Onyendu before you do the right thing, because the right thing is right there in front of you. It's like a company. Every company has its own policies and procedure. And that policies and procedure of a company is like the company constitution. And that is what guides that institution. That is what guides that company. You cannot come to a company because the CEO traveled to America. You begin to act the way you like. No, you cannot. There is a policies and procedure. You cannot say, no, let's wait for the CEO to come back from America so that we will know whether I'm getting it right or wrong. No. Because the policy is there, the procedure is there of the company. If you go against the policies and procedure of a company, you will be put through a disciplinary process because you have erred. You have gone against the company policy, and therefore you will be disciplined accordingly. The same thing is applicable to IPOB. I said the same thing is applicable to IPOB. IPOB is not a banana republic. IPOB is not a kangaroo court. IPOB have a process in place. So why should we leave the process and do something else? Why should we follow something that is not in our code of conduct, something that is alien to us? I'm asking why. If you are an intelligent man, if you are learned, if you are educated, if you have worked in the corporate before, what I am saying is very easy for you to understand. Most of us have worked in a company, and you know that the company that you are working even now has a policy. The company you are working at now have a process. They have a disciplinary code that when you contradict the disciplinary code of a company, they will discipline you according to the policy. So are you telling me that IPOB have no policies? Are you telling me that IPOB have no disciplinary code? That we should act the way we want? No. No. Any organization that does not have policy, any organization that does not have a code of conduct, any organization that does not have organizational structure and rules, that organization is useless. Let me repeat in case you did not hear me. I said any organization that does not have a code of conduct, any organization that does not have policy and procedure, that organization is useless. Let me repeat again. I said any organization that does not have a code of conduct, it does not have policies and procedure, that organization is useless. And somebody like Ikechukwu Onuoha, I cannot be in an organization that does not have rules. I cannot be in an organization that people behave the way they like. I cannot be in an organization where rule of law is not adhered to. Count me out. What makes us human? What makes us intellectual? What makes us reasonable is the fact that we follow rules that is set down. That is why when you want to open a company with somebody, you sit down, you draft out the business plan. When you are done with the business plan, you draft out a contract, business contract with your business partner to say, this is how we are going to run this company. This is how we're going to share our money. This is where we are going to put our money in this business account. And that is the only way that business will flourish. In the past, they used to say to us, don't do combined business. If you do combined business, they will kill you. They will poison you. That is rubbish. It is because we don't understand the rules of partnership. It is simple because we don't know the meaning of partnership. We don't know the meaning of combined business. Of course, combined business is what you call partnership. You know, in those days, in our land, you will go to your friend and say, okay, let's start a business. Nothing is written, nothing is agreed upon. Then you start a business. The person can harm you tomorrow and take over because there is nothing written that regulate that union, that regulate that relationship and partnership. You know, when I was in Israel, the place I worked, it was a restaurant. It was owned by 11 people. Did you hear what I said? I said that business was owned by 11 partners, and they were doing their business smoothly, seamlessly, no misunderstanding. Everything was going smoothly and perfectly well. Do you know why? Because there is a written document. There is a written agreement. We say that we want Biafra. We say that we want to leave the zoo called Nigeria. The question is, why do we want to leave the zoo? I'm asking you, why do you want to leave the zoo? You want to leave the zoo because nothing is documented. You want to leave the zoo because there is no policy. You want to leave the zoo because there is no economic policy. There is no monetary policy. That is why you want to leave the zoo. You want to leave the zoo because their constitution is flawed. That is why you want to leave the zoo. In a nutshell, in summary, the reason why you want to leave the zoo is because the zoo have nothing written that governs the zoo. That's why we want Biafra, right? But how come we have not even gotten Biafra? None of you is obeying the code of conduct. We have not gotten Biafra. A simple code of conduct we don't obey. So how are we going to obey Biafra constitution? I'm asking. How are we going to obey Biafra constitution when we cannot obey common code of conduct? Code of conduct is very simple. It's not ambiguous. It's a small document. You cannot obey a small document of about 1 or 2 pages. And you want to get Biafra, where there will be a constitution, probably of about 500 or 1,000 pages. And you tell me you're going to obey it? As na ishi na ishi ahere mara utonshi. As na ishi na ishi ahere mara utonshi. You want to leave the zoo, but you don't want to behave differently. Tell me what is different from what we are doing right now and what the zoo is doing. Then why do you want Biafra? No, tell me what's the need of wanting Biafra? You people are here killing each other, ready to destroy your so-called one family. You are ready to, castigate your own, ready to even poison one another. The same thing you are running away from the zoo. I say the same thing you are running away from the zoo. But there is no difference. There is no difference between the zoo and what we are doing now. Anarchy everywhere. People flaunting the rules. People not obeying common order. Let me tell you, the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu authorized the code of conduct is because if we can obey code of conduct, whether our leader is here or not here, we will still be able to govern IPOB quietly, smoothly, and powerfully. Very simple. The written documents. Do you know why Moses went to the mountain and brought the 10 commandments? Are you listening? Do you know why Moses went to the mountain to bring the 10 commandments? Because the children of Israelites were not ready to obey the rule. They were not ready to live in peace. They were not ready to live in harmony. Then God said to Moses, let me give you a law that will guide these people, because human nature cannot live without a law. That 10 commandment is like code of conduct. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not convert your neighbor's wife. Thou shalt not do this. Thou shalt not do that. That is the code of conduct. But we are not ready to obey the code of conduct of IPOB. And you say you are one Biafra. We are not ready. I said we are not ready for Biafra. Do you think that Biafra will be a free-for-all fight? Where people come, they change the rule when they like, when it suits them. When people want to steal, they change everything around to suit their needs. Every opportunity you get, every loophole you get, you capitalize on it to steal, fund here and there. You cannot obey a simple code of conduct and you say you want Biafra. You people are not ready for Biafra. Quote me, I said so. You are running away from the zoo because you say the zoo is killing us. The zoo is killing us. The zoo is marginalizing us. We are still in the desert. We have not yet there. We are not yet there. We have not reached Biafra land yet. But we have already started doing exactly the same thing the zoo are doing, even worse than the zoo. Trust me, we are worse than the zoo. We are not there yet. We haven't gotten Biafra yet. We already started killing each other in the desert. So what will happen when we get to Biafra? I say, what will happen when we get to Biafra? We will start assassinating each other. We will start assassinating each other because we want power. You want Biafra. But we have not done anything to show that we are worthy of Biafra. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spoke of 100 men. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spoke of 100 men. Because he has looked around. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has looked at us. He knows that none of us is worthy. He knew that none of us is worthy. And that's why he said he wants 100 men only. Some people will think, what is wrong with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? You should go 100 men out of all this million, or only 100 men culture. It's because he cannot find those who are worthy to inhabit that land that flows with milk and honey. Do you know when Moses came down from the mountain with the 10 commandments, he said to Joshua, ask them who is on the Lord's side. My goodness me. He said to Joshua, ask them who is on the Lord's side. Only few people, the Levites. Only few people, the Levites. And many Israelites were slaughtered that day because they were not worthy to enter that promised land. And the same thing is happening. We are not there yet. We are still in the desert, and we have committed whoredom. We have desecrated the land. We have desecrated the altar. We are not worthy to enter that land that filled with milk and honey. And just like Elohim did to the Israelites, he cut down the years. Actually, he multiplied the years from 40 days to 40 years. Every morning, all people do is they wake up in the morning. Some don't even brush their mouth. They rush quick. They rush to Facebook, looking for whom to insult, looking for whom to pull down, looking for whom to kill, looking for whom to maim, looking for whom to destroy. Is that how you are going to restore Biafra? Is that how you are going to live in the land of Biafra? With hatred, with envy, with jealousy. Only those who are pure in heart. 100 men, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. 100 men. Where are those 100 men, I ask you again, that are going to inherit the land of Chukwu Okike Abiama? Heaven on earth, the land of Biafra. Oliver de Kokwe sang a song and he said, Agbapụrụ ajọ mmụọ, agbakwuru ajọ mmụọ, agbapụrụ ajọ mmadụ, agbakwuru ajọ mmụọ. It's more like what we are doing. We ran away from the zoo and we found ourselves in the middle of nowhere. We found ourselves in the desert, and there in the desert we soiled our garments. There in the desert we deconsecrated the temple. There in the desert we cursed Moses. There in the desert we insult Mazinam the Kano. There in the desert we insult Aaron. There in the desert we insult the family of Mazinam the Kano. There in the desert, we destroy the laws and commandments of Elohim, Chukwu Kabiama. And we want to go to Biafra. It is not the zoo called Nigeria that is holding us back from entering Biafra. It is us that is holding ourselves. The reason why we are not yet making any wrong sway, the reason why we are not yet heading to Biafra is because of us. Some of us are in this for the money. Some of us are in it for different kind of ulterior motives. Selfishness. Nobody is thinking about next generation. Nobody is thinking about their children. Nobody is thinking about what will become of our people in the future. Nobody. All we are thinking about is self, me. This is why I say to myself, I will never, ever, I said I will never, ever go to social media to respond to rubbish. I will never. I am too good for that. I'm good for it. I will never go to social media. If you go to my Facebook page, trust me, you can go and check it out. People are insulting me, calling me names, and I'm laughing. Because I will never respond to you. It's because I matter. It's because I'm very important. And that is why you should be able to think of Ikechukwu Onuoha. This is why you don't sleep. All you think about is Ikechukwu Onuoha. And I thank Elohim for that. I thank Elohim that I'm known to the extent that people will not sleep. They have sleepless nights because of Ikechukwu Onuoha. They want to go and insult Ikechukwu Onuoha. Go ahead. I am too good to respond to nonsense because this is not what we signed for. This is not what I signed up for. I did not sign up to go to Facebook and begin to talk nonsense. No. You see what I'm doing now? That is what I signed up for. Preaching this gospel, that is what I signed up for. Preaching the gospel according to the restoration of the kingdom of Elohim on this planet they call Earth. That is what I signed up for. I did not sign up for yapping. People go and begin to threaten their fellow comrade, the so-called comrade. How you're going to kill your comrade, how you're going to do this. My goodness me, where are you people from? Which kind of people are we? Which kind of generation is this? I think this is what the devil saw, that I'm going to preach this gospel this night, and he decided to pull the plug. But Elohim said, no, you must preach it this evening. You are going to preach this gospel, irrespective of whatever. And I'm glad I have accomplished that work. I am glad I have done that which Elohim have asked me to do. I am so thankful to Chukwu Kabiama for what I have contributed and continue to contribute as far as this gospel is concerned, as far as this restoration effort is concerned. The question is, what have you contributed? What impact have you made in the struggle? And what damage have you done? Will you be remembered for the damage you have done to this restoration effort, or the impact you have made? I will leave you to ask yourself that question. But I know that some of us are called. Some of us are chosen. We are called for this gospel, and we will continue to do what we are doing. And of course, Biafra must be restored. Come what may, whether you like it or not. Biafra must be restored. If not for us, for the sake of our generation to come. If not for us, for the sake of our children. Not all the people that left Egypt reached the promised land. Not all the people that left Egypt reached the promised land. I'm going to conclude with this, and I'm going to say it again, and I want you to pay close attention. Not all the people that left with Moses reached the promised land. Many died on the way. Many perished on the way. Because do you know why? Elohim has promised that he will give the children of Israelites that land that flows with milk and honey. But they are not worthy to possess the land. They are dirty. They are polluted. But Elohim said, because I have promised, because I am Chukwu Okike Monye Promihenile, because I have given out my word, and my word shall not come back void, I will fulfill that promise. But not with this bunch. I will destroy this bunch. I will crush this bunch, and their children will inherit the land. That is why many died. It was only their generation that inherited the promised land. May it not be to us like that. May it not be to us like that. May Elohim not crush us because of our evil. May Elohim not destroy our set, our generation because of our evil. Because I want to inherit that land. I want to see Biafra in my own time. But whatever, let the will of Elohim be done. And of course, this is where we are going to bring this program to an end. We have preached the gospel. We have did that which Elohim have asked us to do. Like I say to you, my work is always easy. My work is not ambiguous at all. What is my work? To preach the gospel according to the restoration of Biafra. And Elohim will do the rest. And that is exactly what I have done this evening. And we are going to leave it here. Because Chukwu Okike Abiama onye pụrụ ihe niile jiri anyị ozi ka anyị zie ndị dị ndụ, and we have done that. May Elohim bless Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He shall not die, he shall live to see the land of Biafra. He shall live to eat the fruit of his labor. And we all shall live to see that land that Elohim has promised to our ancestors. From me and from here, it is goodbye. And may Elohim bless the land of Biafra.
We are here.